Hello lovely mum followers on my Mummy MOT page. I thought I would answer a very common question that I get asked by mums postnatally, which is the age-old question, when can I start running? And I so wish that I could just give you a simple answer and say, 6 weeks, you'll be fine, start running. But for one, 6 weeks is extremely early, even for some of the best and fittest of athletes beforehand. So it's very unlikely that that's when you would be ready. However, everybody is different. And when we're looking and giving advice as to whether somebody can start running again, we look at quite a few things within your personal history. So first of all, what were your starting blocks like? What was your fitness like before pregnancy? And were you running a lot before pregnancy? And did you manage to maintain some fitness during pregnancy? What was your pregnancy like in terms of, did you have any issues? Did you have any back pain, any pelvic girdle pain? Because again, that may affect your postnatal recovery. How is your labour? Labour can have a huge effect. You know, some people's labour, God bless them, have an absolutely incredible labour and they feel fantastic and everything went smoothly. They didn't have any stitches, they didn't have a long prolonged pushing, they weren't back to back with baby, so they didn't have any issues with their coccyx and no C-section scarring. And if that's the case, it may be that you recover a little bit quicker than other people. If you weren't as fortunate and there were other complications with your labour, then that's potentially going to affect your postnatal recovery. And finally, what's your postnatal recovery like? You know, what's that fourth trimester like? Are you getting much sleep? But you know, if you're not getting the sleep, then your body is taking longer to regenerate and recover, and therefore running may not be the most appropriate thing for you to start straight away. Are you well hydrated? Are you constipated? You know, those two things affect a lot about our pelvis and our pelvic floor. And if those two things are affecting you, then again, that may be something we need to address before considering running. So with all these things, I really recommend getting an assessment one-to-one so that we can actually take all of that stuff into consideration and give you the proper and correct advice as to whether you are fit to start running or not. With a one-to-one assessment, you know, we would look at your posture. If there's any other injuries that you may have had before that may still be lingering, but you kind of forgot about because baby and pregnancy has taken over a little bit in your forefront of your mind. We'll look at your posture, your tummy, whether your tummy a gap if you've got one, and whether your core is strong and stable to hold your pelvis, which ultimately is holding the core of you whilst you're trying to run. Look at your pelvic floor. Now, if you're getting any sensations like a dragging sensation, a heavy feeling, any leaking when you're coughing, sneezing, any problems with your back passage, if you need to sort of manually evacuate, support your perineum, or if you're getting any sort of pain at all during toileting or just during function, then again, we need to assess that and make sure that you're fit and healthy and safe to start running. If all of that is clear and you're feeling generally really good and really fit and healthy in yourself and you feel really good, then I challenge you to check a few things. The first one would be, can you stand on one leg? And can you stand on one leg well, or does your hip drop out? I've done some videos previously on that, so check to see, are you able to stand on one leg? And when you do stand on it, is your bottom engaged? So put your hand on your glute and just check on the back. Does it feel like it's engaged or is it really squidgy? Okay, then see if you can stand on that leg and do a single leg dip. Is it the same as the other side, or is there a difference, a disparity? And then can you hop and hold? Because ultimately when we're running, each step that we take is like a single leg dip. But it's not only a single leg dip, it's like a hop, hold, single leg dip, hop, single leg dip. And momentum can mean that we kind of can get away with having quite bad technique because we can just sort of like fall forward rather than control forward. But before you start running, you need to really check that you've got the ability to have good control, because if you don't, then it's potential that your biomechanics will mean that you're more likely to get injuries if every time you step, your knee goes in and your hip comes out when you do like a single leg dip every time you run. And then it's what are your goals? You know, what do you want to get back to? You know, when you're asking do you want to run, is it a case of if you just want to do a little jog to the bus stop, Are you trying to run a marathon or do couch to 5K? And again, we'll assess those goals and make sure that we're progressing you suitably for you to achieve those goals. I hope that was really helpful, guys. Please do send a message below. If you've got any questions, I'd be more than happy to ask. Otherwise, you know where I am, based at Badgerswood Surgery in Borden. All my contact details are attached. If you've got any questions, please feel free to send me a message, and I'd love to help. Thanks very much, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon. Bye.